Big game coverage live from Los Angeles. Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
R&R in the morning continues. He is Rudy J. I am Rob Thompson. Your big game coverage continues, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquors, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. And there are certain things that when I come to Radio Row every year, there are things that I look forward to doing. There are people that I look forward to seeing, and there's some people I only see on the floor of Radio Row. One of them has joined us just now. Kyle Turley steps in and sits with us once again here for you guys in San Antonio. NFL great, cannabis advocate who really kind of turned the table some years ago when we first started talking. Kyle, thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah,
we appreciate the time.
It's great to be with you always, brother. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, when we first sat down, I believe we were sitting in Houston back in 2016 or 17, and you came up and you had first gotten into the to CBD and really were advocating it. And there was you and a couple of other players, former players, all essentially with the same story. That you'd gone through the trials of the NFL and your body was battered. You went through an addiction issue because of all of that, and things didn't quite fall apart, but at the last minute you found something. And I think that story kind of rang true. Some guys came and left. You have maintained your advocacy to this day.
Yeah. Well, it's real. What do you want me to do? You want me to be in a hotel room somewhere with a bunch of pills and booze and all these things? You know, our community suffers. This achievement comes at a cost. And, you know, from us to the military to anybody that's ever had a head injury, period, you know, there's things that, you know, we have that have exposed us to the true power of cannabis and what it can do for our community and the general public. You know, that's why we're in business about this and all of these things, because these resolutions, you know, they transcend the entire spectrum of humanity as you understand the science of why this works, and that it's about this endogenous cannabinoid system. It's not about this wacky weed that they want you to know about, you know, don't want you to know about.
Kyle Turley joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. So are you still working with NeuroXPF? Because I still take it.
Still have the CBD company. You know, we're selling our products online. We're about to move everything hopefully to Nashville here soon. I just moved back there. Big hemp opportunity in Nashville as well, in Tennessee. And then the progression of the cannabis conversation and full plant opportunity is opening up in Nashville or in Tennessee. Should be going medical here this year from what I understand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're going to go medical here. You know, all the states are surrounded now, so now Louisiana's going, and you know, Mississippi, all these states are getting in. So that's why I went back there. You know, I was here in California for last 7 years. After I had left Nashville, I was living for 7 years because of health issues, and you know, they had this resolution in cannabis. It's very real, saved my life. Period. And I'm still here, and we're still doing this.
Right.
You know, so you know, I guess it'll be about the last man standing. You know, I'll be
but
here,
do you feel
I'll be here and everybody will be gone. And
do you stand up and go, I was right? You should have listened to me before. Now you're listening to me. Do you feel vindicated when you walk into the room with those NFL types?
Yeah, you know, I guess somewhat. You know, it's still a weird vibe. You know, it's still
because they can't get past. Like when they hear weed, they just see a bunch of guys riding around getting high. Like that's how they see it. Like they're not looking at it from a pain standpoint, from a mental health standpoint. You know what I mean? So it's silly.
It's beyond silly.
You know, it's beyond silly. Yeah. And then we got some states where it's cool, some states where it's illegal. People in jail for selling it, then people getting rich off of it. So we're in a weird place. Not just the NFL. We're just in a weird place as a country with cannabis, man.
100%. You know, and it's got to change. You know, the opportunity that we have to resolve all these illnesses and injuries with this plant. You know, what it speaks to, though, first and foremost, this opportunity to understand human health. Why does this work? This is not just, do whatever it takes. No, this is what you should be using. This is inside of each and every one of us are these cannabinoids. You're made of water and cannabinoids. They don't want you to know about this. All right? The number one regulatory system in the human body is the endogenous cannabinoid system. Not one doctor in America has the opportunity to even discuss this with you. It's beyond me. I've had the opportunity to have meetings with the NFL, talk to their entire medical staff. They've told me and acknowledged this. We know, Kyle, it's just going to take time. You know, I'm sorry. It didn't take me time to become a first-round draft pick in the NFL, all all right? I did it after playing 1 year of high school football, seeing the opportunity I had to progress as an athlete in a sport that I was good at and make it an achievement that was unfathomable, okay? Just like me even sitting here shouldn't happen, right? I had light sensitivity off the charts, in and out of the hospital with vertigo, seizures, arthritic pain off the charts, neuropathy, all these things. That's why I didn't play 10 more years in the NFL than I did,
Well, you got to help me with my mom. My mom has lupus, and she's in her 60s. So the thought of
cannabis,
she's like, "Are you crazy?"
No,
you know what I mean. And then she's done some CBD, but it didn't really didn't really help. I need you to help my mom turn the page 2 and be like, hey, you got to go cannabis, Mom. It's going to help because it's pretty much arthritis times 1,000.
100%.
Well, that's what her. That's
these
what her
type
form of lupus
again,
is, right?
I have it times 1,000.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm bone on bone in almost every joint. They want to replace all my knees and my hips and everything, reconstruct all these things. I mean, I'm fine. Okay, is what I tell them. All right, I'm on full orthopedic disability from the NFL because all these things. I was on a cane. These injuries don't go away. The pain is real. Every day you deal with it. Cannabis resolves it like that. And if you do it every day, you can defeat these things because it's about inflammation. It's not about lupus. That's a name they came up with. Cancer. That's a name they came up with. Omicron and COVID this and that. These are just names. These are words. What you have inside you is inflammation. And if you can eliminate this inflammation, then you can start living a healthy life. That's all it's about. From cognitive injuries to orthopedic injuries, it's inflammation.
Kyle Turley joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. Now, you've partnered with Jim McMahon and Eben Britton with a group called Revenant MJ. Tell us about it.
Well, it's an opportunity for us to, be in the business, put our money where our mouth is, not just talk about this, but really try to expose what we've found. We found these specific things. It's a very specific cannabis brand that's not just out here to get money. Of course, we want to sell as much product as we can, like any business, but ours is very purpose-driven, trying to expose these strains that we've experienced. We don't just have a whole big, huge menu of products. It's very specific to what we're providing, and we want to replicate that. We're doing licensing deals around the country right now, and Revenant MJ's in dispensaries across the state of California currently. We're doing amazing things. We're going to open up the Revenant House next year. That's our goal, where we can I've got a license waiting on me out in the desert from a great city in Desert Hot Springs. The mayor there has promised me a full operating wellness resort based around cannabis, have the licensing to do that, and provide that opportunity.
I was always a Bears fan. How is Jim? Because I remember, I want to say it was Real Sports I saw Jim on, and he was having a rough day. He's
better now.
Is he doing good?
He's doing good, man.
Awesome.
He just had ankle reconstruction, so that sucks. But he's with me. We're at conventions all the time.
Cool. That's good.
Go check out RevenantMJ.com for all of Kyle Turley's new gig.
Yeah.
The old gigs stood up, and it worked. And I'm all about the advocacy, and I'm all about your
Jim
success.
McMahon. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. YouTube Jim McMahon's Hall of Fame acceptance speech at BYU. For that man to be standing there doing that and take those glasses off is a miracle in and of itself. And me sitting here is too, brother.
Joe Cool.
Kyle, go fight that good fight, man. We appreciate you.
Good luck with Joe Cool, Kyle.
Hey, man.
Kyle Turley, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.